Out of Hartford, South Dakota, he drives the number 42 car. It's Travis Dan. Outside row 1 out of Rock Rapids in the number 4, that's Aaron Stetnix. In row number 2 out of Hills, Minnesota, it's the 24H of Brock Harnick. And he is outside out of Laverne, the 17 of Evan Shetler. In row number 3, the number 14 car out of Sioux Falls, it's Corbin Erickson. And he is outside driving the 40 out of Laverne, Minnesota, it's Chase Overgaard. 6 cars, 6 laps. Top 3 make the redraw. Side by side, nose to tail as they come to the green flag here for heat race number 2. Battle through turn number 2 down the backstretch. The edge right now goes to the 4 of Aaron Stetnix. Stetnix will roll the high side. Travis Dan down low as they come around to complete the first circuit. Aaron Stetnix, the race leader, as we go around. Travis Dan in second, then Evan Shetler, followed by Overgaard in fourth. Top 3 in the redraw. Overgaard's got to jump one more spot. Little breathing room for Stetnix there on the high side. Dan moves up the hill. Shetler looks down low. So does Overgaard as they come down. Chase Overgaard to the bottom side of 1 and 2, looking for that transfer spot. Won't have it as they head down the backstretch. All top 4 cars go to the top side of the raceway. Times around. Stetnix starting to pull away in heat race number 2. Final time around here for Aaron Stetnix. Stetnix well out front here in this heat race with the battle for the transfer spot. Travis Dan, Shetler, and Overgaard as we come off turn number 4. Aaron Stetnix, your heat race winner. Stetnix takes the checkers here in heat race number 2. Travis Dan comes home second. Evan Shetler will grab that transfer spot in third, and Chase Overgaard will round out the top 4. Third and final heat race coming to the raceway next. On the pole position out of Rock Rapids, Iowa, he drives the number 19C. It's Cam Jurens. Outside row number 1 out of Worthing, South Dakota, in the 221, it's Logan Fitzpatrick. Inside row 2 out of Brandon, he drives the 81. It's Josh Frosteth, and he hits outside in the X out of Sioux Falls. It's Tyler Schlumbaum. In row number 3 off the inside, driving the 71 car out of Sheldon, Iowa, it's Matt Reinsma, and his outside out of Rock Rapids, the 19L of Lily Jurens. 6 more cars for 6 more laps. Our third and final heat race in our Seabisma Graphics Hobby Stocks. Logan Fitzpatrick on the outside of row number 1. Man, a heat race win would look good for his daughter Paisley, celebrating her birthday with us here tonight. Iowa Corn green flag ready to fly here in heat race number 3. 3 wide, make it 4 in a bunch as we go down the backstretch. Opening lap here in our final heat race. Tyler Schlumbum being aggressive. Shoots through the middle, now to the bottom, off of turn number 4, looking for the race lead. Tyler Schlumbum, your new race leader after lap number 1. Cam Jurens battling back to the outside. Jurens on the outside there, going to battle to the top side as they work through 3 and 4. Then it's Fitzpatrick and Frostseth behind him. This time the top 4 all hit the top side of the raceway. Top 4 cars have separated themselves from the field. Top 3 make it into the redraw. Tyler Schlumbum extending his race lead to a little over a second now over Cam Jurens. Fitzpatrick trying to hold off Frostseth. Can he hang on to that final transfer position? Around goes Cam Jurens in the corner. Frostseth has to slam on the brakes. He throws it sideways. Reitzma coming around. Caution flag will fly. Cam Jurens was running in second, looking good, and just a little too fast around the corner, and he turns it sideways. Tyler Schlumbum, your race leader. Logan Fitzpatrick will come into that second spot. Now Frostseth will be in that third and final transfer. Looks like Matt Reinsman's going to call it a heat race. He'll make his way back to the infield. So that'll move Lily Jurens up into the top 4. Cam Jurens will head back to the pit area. Unassisted cautions here in heat race action. Sends you to the infield. Green, white, checkered here in heat race number 3. Tyler Schlumbum has a feature win already here at Rapids Speedway this season. Logan Fitzpatrick picked up a win at the I-90 Speedway. Frostseth sitting there in that final transfer spot, in the rookie Lily Jurens hanging on here with a top 4. Schlumbum quickly out to a nice lead here as we are back under green flag conditions. Checkers in hand here for this final hobby stock heat race belong to the X Factor of Tyler Schlumbum. Logan Fitzpatrick and Josh Frostseth will grab the 2 transfer positions, and Lily Jurens will round out your top 4. Next class to come to the raceway here tonight, the Papik Motors USRAB Modifieds. Making their way into staging here. We'll get them out onto the racing surface. Their heat races are 6 laps the distance. Top 3 cars will make tonight's redraw in the A main. On the pole position of heat race number 1 out of Canton, South Dakota in the 71L, it's Leroy Rolfs. Outside of row number 1, driving the 7K out of Mount Vernon, South Dakota, that's Tom Coster. Inside row number 2 out of Sioux Falls, he drives the 16 car, that's Brock Hess. And his outside, driving the 0 out of Sioux Center, Iowa, it's Jesse Wienia. Inside row number 3 in the number 87 out of Sioux Falls, that's Clint Erickson. And his outside out of Rock Rapids, the 66R of Randy Van Veldhuizen. Inside your 4th and final row out of Hartford, South Dakota, driving the 21, it's Jaden Dahl. Heat race number 1 of 3 in your Papik Motors B Modifieds. 6 laps to distance, the top 3 make it into tonight's redraw. Cars are stacked up here for this opening heat race in our B Modifieds. 7 cars side by side, nose to tail, looking for that Iowa corn green flag. Leroy Rolfs and Tom Coster bring us to it. Rolfs slides through the first set of turns. That opens the door. Off the bottom side comes Brock Hess. Brock Hess rockets to the race lead into turn number 3. He'll rocket up to the top side and lead lap number 1. Brock Hess out in front. Leroy Rolfs, Clint Erickson currently your top 3 redraw cars. Coster in that 4th position. Wienia back in that top 5. Erickson looks underneath the Rolfs out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Erickson, he'll take that spot away. They both hit the bottom through 3 and 4. Brock Hess out in front though. Brock Hess, his first trip to the Rapid Speedway this season, but no stranger here. Hess works his way through turns 3 and 4. He'll go to the bottom side of the raceway this time at the white flag. He holds a half a straightaway lead over Clint Erickson, while Leroy Rolfs maintains that 3rd and final transfer position. Checkers fly, heat race number 1 goes to the 16 of Brock Hess. Clint Erickson comes home in that 2nd spot. Leroy Rolfs grabs 3rd. Tom Coster in 4th. And Randy Van Veldhuizen rounds out your top 5. Papik Motors B Modified heat race number 2 comes to the raceway next. On the pole position out of Slayton, Minnesota, driving the 20X, it's Braden Allers. Outside row number 1 out of Sioux Falls in the number 57, that's Duke Erickson. Inside row number 2, driving the 21K out of T, South Dakota, that's Dave Kennedy. And his outside out of Sheldon, the 20S of Jason Stegeman. Inside row 3, driving the 97K out of Chancellor, South Dakota, that's Tanner Coster. And his outside out of Laverne, Minnesota in the 19, it's Mert Kroc. That's right, you heard that right. The Ash Creek Outlaw himself in the number 19 car. Car looks like his old number 19. See if that old guy can roll that pro chassis around the raceway. He's made a lap or 2 here at Rapid Speedway over the years. 6 cars, 6 laps. Top 3 make tonight's redraw. Heat race number 2 in our Papik Motors USREB Modifieds. Precision Auto Body and On the Rocks Bar and Grill bringing you tonight's racing action. Hope they're having a great time over in our VIP in turn number 1. Quickly going to the race lead, it is Hollers, but Duke Erickson going to fight right back to the bottom side in turn number 3. Duke Erickson off of turn number 4, looking for the race lead. He'll have it. Hollers now back inside turn number 2. They go down the backstretch. Erickson a slight lead, but Hollers has the preferred line on the bottom this time around. Hollers battling back. He'll resume that race lead. Hollers led lap number 2. Now Erickson right back to the outside. Erickson up top, Hollers down low. Here they come off of turn number 4. Hollers maintains. The battle out front is intense. Right now it's Diggity in that third and final transfer spot with Tanner Coster in 4th. Stegeman in the top 5. Hollers clicking across the bottom side of the raceway. Maintains his race lead. Hollers goes low. Erickson stays committed to the top side here through the corner. White flag one more timer out here in heat race number 2. Braden Hollers in the 20X out of Slayton, Minnesota. Lost the lead on lap number 1, gained it right back in lap 2, and he goes on, he'll win heat race number 2. Braden Hollers, your heat race winner. Braden Hollers, your heat race winner. Duke Erickson second. Dave Kennedy grabs that third and final transfer spot. Tanner Coster comes home in 4th. One more heat race to go here in our B Modified. Starting on the pole position in this heat race, he comes out of Rock Rapids, Iowa in the number 20 car. It's Derek Van Veldhuizen. Outside row number 1, driving the 27 out of Larchwood, that's Kevin Joachim. Inside row 2, driving the 42B out of Austin, Minnesota, it's Caden Bronner. And to his outside, out of Reedon, Minnesota, the 16X of Blake Leuenberg. Inside row number 3, he comes out of Baltic, South Dakota, driving the number 6 car. That's Dustin Cruz. And to his outside, driving the 87J out of Brandon, South Dakota, it's J.D. Murphy. Final heat race here in our Papik Motors USREB Modifieds. 3 more cars looking to lock into the redraw for tonight's A-Main. Wide battles through the first set of turns. Now they double up, single out as we head to turn number 3. Car around in turn number 3, sliding it sideways, now straightening it out. '87J of J.D. Murphy getting the rag here. No window net on that car. You got to have that window net up. That is why the 87J. Dustin Cruz out in front, though, in this heat race. Derek Van Veldhuizen in that second spot. Kevin Joachim right in the third and final redraw spot. And Blake Lewinberg right now in that fourth spot looking to jump into that redraw. Dustin Cruz has finished second in consecutive weeks here at Rapid Speedway. This heat race, he was out in front looking strong once again. We'll see if he benefits from being in the redraw. Dustin Cruz checks out the bottom side of the raceway off of turn number 4. He'll win heat race number 3. Dustin Cruz is the heat race winner. Derek Van Velthuizen grabs second. And Kevin Joachim is your final transfer car into the redraw. Now on to our automated waste systems USRA stock cars here tonight. 3 heat races on the docket for them. The top 3 cars will make tonight's redraw as well. On the pole position here in heat race number 1 out of Adrian, Minnesota, the 117L, it's Chad Loneman. Outside row number 1, driving the number 4 car out of Dune, that's Jackson Mulder. Inside row number 2, out of Rock Rapids, driving the 81, it's Tanner Vanetop. And his outside, out of Ocheyedan, the 11C of Cole Hieronymus. Inside of row number 3, the driver out of Hills, Minnesota, he drives the 4D car, that's Corey Kelderman. And outside of him, last week's feature winner, the 34K out of Little Rock, that's Colby Clausen. Inside of your final row, out of Russell, Minnesota, he drives the 32X. That's Rich Gregoire. Eight laps the distance here in the AWS stock cars. Top 3 into the redraw. Chad Loneman on the bottom side of the raceway grabs the early race lead. Jackson Mulder jumps into that second spot behind him. Chasing is the pack. Only 3 of these cars make it into the redraw. Tanner Vanetop right now in that third and final transfer spot. Colby Clausen, Rich Gregoire, they're coming for it. Off of turn number 4, we've got a battle for the race lead. Jackson Mulder. Mulder to the high side through 1 and 2. He pulls even as they head down the backstretch. Jackson Mulder a slight edge as they take their way around. Off the top side of turn number 4, he's got the race lead. Jackson Mulder won feature race number 1 of the season here at Rapid Speedway. Was a leader last week before a mechanical failure took him out of that spot. Now back out in front in this first heat race of our AWS stock cars. Chad Loneman in that second spot, then Colby Clausen. Now Loneman battles back to the inside. Loneman looks inside here through 3 and 4. Colby Clausen going to try and give him a push. Off of turn number 4, it remains Jackson Mulder. Jackson Mulder hits the high line once again. Loneman and Clausen remain committed to the bottom. Mulder way up high off of 2. That allows Loneman to close in. Loneman hits the bottom here once again. Mulder way up in the fluff off of turn number 4. Loneman's going to take the race lead away. Loneman to the race lead. Now it's Colby Clausen looking inside of him. We're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch in heat race number 1. 3 wide for the race lead in the final set. Here we go off the corner. Colby Clausen slides on through. Colby Clausen, your heat race winner. Colby Clausen from third to first in the final lap. Jackson Boulder comes home second. Third in the final redraw spot goes to the 117L of Chad Loneman. Now on to heat race number 2 on the pole position. The driver out of Sioux Center, Iowa in the 43K. It's Josh Kelderman. To his outside, he drives out of Laverne, Minnesota in the number 19 car. It's Trevor Kroc. Inside row number 2, driving the 5X out of Kenneth, Minnesota.